What's up, everybody? Welcome back to Sideline Sports. I am your host, Trevor. Super excited that Daryl the Guru Johnson was on the other night. Thank you very much for that. If you're watching this podcast, you may be just way too busy. I'm not sure, but it was great to have him on. And let's talk some more Warrior basketball. Last night, we got a win 131-106. And the one highlight I really want to talk about today was Quinton Post. Oh my God. Quinton Post comes up from the G League, rookie center, and man, he had a game. He was in for 20 minutes and got 20 points. He hit, I believe, 3 or 4 three-pointers. So the guy was on fire for his first real game in the NBA. He was the center we're looking for. He's over 7 feet tall. He can shoot three-pointers. He can play defense. He really stopped the Bulls from going and driving into the hoop as much as other teams have. So I want to highlight Quinton Post because Quinton Post came out and played so much better than I actually thought he would, and that kind of makes me think more about the Warriors going out and getting a veteran center that can probably help Quinton Post a little bit. So I think the trade needs to be for a center, maybe Vukovic or something like that. We'll see, but definitely Quinton Post out there for a rookie. Played very, very well. I think a lot of the veterans, Draymond Green, Steph Curry, loved watching him. The fact that he could hit three-pointers at that clip and drive to the hoop, get fouls, play defense, I really hope he gets more time with the Warriors going forward, guys, because bringing him up was, I think, a breath of fresh air, kind of. Him and Guy Santos are both playing out of their mind. They're playing very, very aggressively, and I've been saying for a while that the one thing that this Warrior team is not playing with is aggression, passion. They're playing soft all the time. They go down by 5 or 10 points, and all of a sudden the game is over. Very soft, mentally minded team. But I do feel like bringing up some new faces like Quinton Post and Guy Santos, who are both making the most out of their minutes on this Warrior team, it's exciting to watch these guys play. They're not going out there and balling out like crazy. Well, Post did last night. Guy Santos is up and down, but still the energy level, the way that they're running around the court makes it feel like they're getting younger, faster, stronger. I know Steph Curry likes it, and when he gets a win, he's happy. So let's see if they can build off that. But going further into the stats for last night's game, Andrew Wiggins had 17 points in 29 minutes. Gary Payton II in 11 minutes had 3 points, not great. Trace Jackson-Davis, 10 minutes, 4 points. But defense was there for both of those guys. They were hustling. I liked it. Steph Curry, 31 minutes and 21 points. Buddy Hield, 19 minutes and 3 points. Buddy Hield continues to struggle. I don't get it. Buddy Hield, I want to rip my hair out. I can't believe I'm watching this guy come over to the Warriors with one of the highest three-point percentages shooting in the league, and he comes over here and he's fallen off. Now, you can't argue that he didn't play as many minutes as the Warriors are playing him right now. And so maybe he's getting a little bit more time and his three-point percentage is dropping off a little bit. But guys, he's actually shooting at like a 22% clip right now, which is absolutely horrible, even if you get some more minutes. He started off hot. Not so much anymore. I don't know. Dennis Schroeder's coming along, but he's only like 11 to 13 point guy. So you still need some scoring. I like the fact that Quinton Post came in and played hard and helped shore up that center position and wasn't allowing other teams to just come on in and drive to the hoop easily like they've been doing all year. So I hope Quinton Post stays in because he's got the weight, he's got the height. He clearly is not being affected so far by the bright lights of the NBA in his first game, but it's just one game. I don't want to get over my skis or anything like that, but I do want to see more of Quinton Post. Moses Moody, 25 minutes, 16 points. I want to see more from Moses Moody. I don't think Moses Moody has gotten a fair shake here. I really don't. I think he deserves more minutes, and I think he will get some more minutes. He might as well. This team has got to figure out who it is that's going to get some buckets in any meaningful time. I think Moses Moody does that better than most of the bench players that you got. Brandon Podziemski came back, and he played pretty good. 21 points, or 21 minutes, 10 points. Good for his first game back after injury. He didn't look like he slowed down at all, so I think the injury is past him. And now we're just waiting for other guys to come back. We need Jonathan Kuminga, although I have to say Jonathan Kuminga is not, guys, not, put it on record, not going to be the guy that saves this team when Curry is gone. He is not that guy. Do not expect Jonathan Kuminga to come back and be a huge difference maker. What he does do, he drives to the hoop, he scores, he gets fouled. I like that about him. He's a good 3-man, 2 or 3-man. Not really a 2-man even. You got Curry, you need another sure shot bucket getter, then you got Jonathan Kuminga, and then the rest fall in place. Green, maybe Dennis Schroeder, maybe Moses Moody, and then you sprinkle in some other players off the bench, Trace Jackson Davis, Andrew Wiggins. I can't say enough. He's still playing like they played that championship year. It's just the rest of the team is not. So, hey, it's exciting to see them get a win, but it's a win, guys. It's not a string of wins. We're not on a hot streak by any means whatsoever, but it was a nice win to see them get, and it was 131-106. It wasn't a blowout, but it was a statement game for the Warriors. Maybe they've hit rock bottom. Maybe it's time to turn it around, and maybe we're going to see the Warriors finally start putting some wins together, but I'm not holding my breath. Let's see what happens. This year has been a little bit of a disappointment for me because I expected more from this roster since last year, and I'm seeing about the same. So should a move be made? Absolutely. I think a trade needs to be made. I still believe that. I don't think anybody's off the table that's not named Steph Curry or Draymond Green. I don't know. I might even keep Andrew Wiggins possibly, but by and large, I think anybody's up for trade. If you can go get a guy like Jimmy Butler, go get Vucevic. Vucevic isn't going to cost you that much or as much as Jimmy Butler would, but I'd go get those guys because, guys, just remember, even if they go make a trade for some big name, this is not a championship team this year. It's just not. So don't get in the mindset that this team makes a move and all of a sudden they're vying for a championship this year. They're a dark horse. It's not. It's possible. It's not likely. It's more likely to think about picking up a guy like that, like Jimmy Butler, like Vucevic, moving forward with next year in the offseason or at the end of this year in offseason, picking up some other players, complementary players, and going for it with Steph Curry next year. I'm not willing to throw it out the door already. We got another 30 games or so. But the point is that we need to be realistic, and realistically, going and getting a superstar like Jimmy Butler to play alongside Curry and hopefully keeping Wiggins and some of the other players they have here, Moses Moody, depends on who they trade. So we don't know what that roster will look like. We don't know. But what we do know is, in my mind, a trade needs to be made. We need to see some movement. Being stuck in the mud is not going to get you anywhere. It's like stay on the left, stay on the right of the train tracks. If you're on the train tracks, you're going to get run over eventually. They're on the train tracks in the middle, and that is a recipe for disaster, guys. If you are a Warrior fan, if you watch this team play, you know that they need superstar help, okay? They need a big player who can get buckets regularly, guaranteed, no problem to go next to Steph Curry. That guy is not on this team right now, and we need that. So I would say make a trade. I don't know what the Warriors are waiting for. Maybe just to shake things out and see if they can get a good deal on one of these guys that are available. I think it's Butler or Vucevic if they're going to do either one. I don't know if they will. Maybe there's another name out there that, I haven't heard anything lately, but what I would say is I'm excited about the win. I want to see them build off of it. Let's see if they can do that. I truly think they can. I don't know what has gone on with this team for the last 20 games. If you look at the names on paper, they're a much better team than what I'm watching play out there. So I do think there's upside to this. Do I think that they can win a championship this year with this roster? I don't think so. I think they need to make a move if that's even in the cards. Right now, they're trying to make playoffs. Good news is they're only a couple games out of the playoff picture, and they're in the play-in game, but we all know the Warriors suck at play-in games. If they have to go to the playoffs and play one game to make it through to the next round, they don't do so well. Steve Kerr is very good about figuring out a team in a 7-game, 5-game series, but when it's a one game, it's up in the air. It's a coin flip, and the Warriors don't usually win that one for whatever reason. So I would say it's not all doom and gloom. We're only a few games out of being in a playoff spot. I would be good with that. I think that there's a lot left in the season. They can turn this around. They are still a very good team. They're just not playing good basketball. And That's different than calling them a championship team. They're not a championship team yet, guys. They need to make at least one move, and I don't even know if that will do it, but it will get them in the right direction. And if they can start going in the right direction, get out of the mud, start making moves for players next offseason, pick up a couple of guys in free agency, or make a few trades, or do whatever you need to do, trade a draft pick, to win now with Steph Curry, you do that. So that's where I'm on. That's the train that I'm on. That's the one I'm staying on. That's the one I believe should happen. Quentin Post, definitely center for the future. Is he the center now? I don't know, but we're going to see that in the next few games. If he continues on this way, I mean, remember, in the G League, he was tearing it up 30 points a game. He was on fire. He got up to the NBA, started playing with the Warriors, right, in a real game last night, and continued that streak. He did score 20 points, so it wasn't 30, but 20 points for a rookie first game out, I'm cool with that. I want to see more. I want to see more of that and see where it goes. I think we got a guy that's definitely the center of the future, and if we're lucky enough, maybe he's just going to adapt right now and start playing ball. We'll see. We definitely need the Warriors to get an edge. We need to see them not only play some of these guys who are scoring points and see where that goes. We need the toughness. I don't want to see Trayce Jackson-Davis go down this court again and do a layup with one guy on him and a fast break when he should be dunking that ball and posterizing that guy. I want to see that every single time, and that goes for everybody else on the team. Draymond Green, Gary Payton II, even Andrew Wiggins does it. He doesn't do it every time. The problem is consistency here, guys. We need to see consistency for this team to continue to accelerate up into another level, and that's where we're at, and that's what we're waiting for. Are they going to do it? Are they not? I don't know, but a move needs to be made either way because they can't win a championship with this roster the way it's constructed, period. End of story. That's the way it's going to be, and on top of all that, I would start thinking a little bit about if we need a different GM. Because I'll tell you right now, I'm not super happy with the GM, and if he doesn't get his stuff together and start making some moves or doing something in the offseason to show that he's trying to build a team around Steph Curry, I say go get another GM. I mean, Dunleavy, I'm not super happy with. I'm not going to sugarcoat it. I didn't like it when I heard that he was going to be the GM, and I like it less now. But let's see where he's going. I mean, some of the moves he made, he's trying to make moves. I'm fine with that, but they're not coming to reality. And if they don't come to reality, then you don't last long as a GM. You just don't. Look at the San Francisco Giants. You can say you made all the efforts in the world, but if you don't go out and get that guy and sign that guy, the efforts mean nothing. Nothing. So they have to get it done. They need to make a move. If they don't make a move before the trade deadline on the 6th, I'll be very, very disappointed in this team, and I think they will make a move. I do think it's one of those two guys. There could be some other ones in the wing that we don't know about. Maybe that's what the Warriors are waiting for. Some of these teams have not waved the white flag yet that will be waving the white flag in the next week or so, possibly. I think that's what it's all about. So let's see what happens with that. Thank you guys for joining me. We'll try and get more guests on the show because, man, that was fun talking to Guru. I really enjoyed it. I know that he'll come back on the show later. We're going to try and get a couple other people on. Steiny for sure. I'll try to get some other people on as well. The local 95.7 The Game crew. The more that I can get on this show and get on the podcast and have a little bit of fun with, guys, the more fun you're going to have watching, and I enjoy it. So anyway, remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe. Keep watching, guys. It's going to be fun following this Warrior team. I think if they can turn it around, it'll be a good story. I can see that story in the making. If they turn around and make a good run in the playoffs, that would be awesome. It would be a good Steph Curry story about being the dark horse again this year, but who knows for sure. Let's see what happens. If they don't, let's see them at least hopefully make a move so that we can see the progress going into next year. We got 30 games, guys, so we got a lot of time to talk about that. All right, so Monday, catch me for the Niners podcast. We're going to talk a little bit about Saleh. It looks more and more like Saleh's coming back to be the DC. It hasn't been announced yet, but I do know the Jags are going to hire a different head coach, so he's out with the Jags. He's out with the Raiders as Pete Carroll has now signed with the Raiders. We'll talk a little bit about that on the Niner podcast, even though you guys might not want to hear about the Raiders. Pete Carroll, head coach of the Raiders, is not a bad thing either. That's an interesting move. And then I don't think Saleh is going to get the head coaching job of the Cowboys, because the Cowboys, that's a pedigree on a different level to get that head coaching position. I don't think Saleh is there yet. I think he's coming back to the Niners. I think we're going to hear very soon that that's the case. So awesome. Follow me on Monday for that, guys. And remember, hit the like, hit the subscribe, click the bell. The bell will let you know when a new podcast is up. And I will see you in the next one. And remember, as always, hard work beats talent. When talent don't work, I'll work for you as long as you keep watching. See you in the next one.